And a good evening. Meteorologist Chris Smith here in the Panhandle Weather Studios. Meteorologist Dan Nyman over at his house on the other side of town on this very cold Tuesday evening, running out of time here in 2025, second to last day.
Let's put on the speaker there. Now you can see me. Yep. There we go. So anyway, it was a 3-layer day today, at least for Florida attire standards. You had the t-shirt and then maybe a light coat, maybe some sort of sweatshirt underneath. At least that's how I got through the day. Especially Chris with the air in the house. The latest reading, 62 degrees.
Oh, geez. Let's see. It is 72 in the studios here as I take a gander up above. So there we go. That's some good news. My wife actually, though, did come into the studio to warm up. So maybe that's not a good sign as to what the inside of our house is. Although I feel certain it's definitely not 62 degrees. Probably the big weather story today, in addition to the cold weather, which we'll talk about, and tonight will be the coldest night of this cold spell, is the fact that we had a wildfire up in Washington County. It was called the Sunny Hills Fire. I know it wasn't technically in Sunny Hills. It was near Greenhead Road. This is a picture from Washington County Fire Services, which helped put it out. But you can see it was a pretty good fire there. It did get up to about 50 acres, but I just checked a few minutes ago and it is officially 100% contained. So some good news up there in Washington County from that fire with, this dry air that's in place across our area. Certainly is going to lead to an enhanced fire risk. And obviously it's been pretty dry as of late. Now we did have that rain spell where we got multiple inches of rainfall, but the overall pattern has been kind of a dry pattern. As we look at live Doppler radar, you can see there's that plume of smoke that popped up. You can see the winds out of the north and west kind of blowing that smoke down towards the Econfina Creek, Deer Point Lake earlier today. Let's get a little closer look at it. And there's that plume, and you see there's Greenhead Road. This was Hawk Road down there. So again, this was earlier this afternoon, right around 1 o'clock is when we saw that plume of smoke really begin to rise up, and we were able to see it with the radar. But again, the good news there is 100% contained. No reports of any significant damage up there in Washington County. I am also watching, there's a wildfire going up in Holmes County. It's called the Monroe Paul Road Fire. It's 45 acres and 0% contained right now. So we'll keep an eye on that one as well. Now, this evening, the other story, the cold temperatures across our area. Temperatures into the 40s. 26 is your dew point, so chapstick type of weather. Winds are out of the north-northwest at 9. So as Dan was talking about, the winds have backed off, and that was good news for the firefighters and good news for us just from a comfortability standpoint. It's 40 over at Harbor Walk Village in Destin, northwest wind at 10 miles an hour, and 43 over on Panama City Beach, looking from schooners and out there across the Gulf. Although if you look real carefully here, it looks like somebody's brave enough to maybe have a bonfire going this evening. Still, the yellow flag on Panama City Beach getting blown around a little bit there. there over at Pineapple Willie's, north-northwest wind at 9 miles an hour. We have another cold weather advisory, and that's for wind chill values. While the wind won't be as strong tonight, we'll still see wind chill values dropping into the low 20s for a lot of us. Actual air temperatures will drop into the mid to upper 20s for inland areas, with maybe a light freeze at the beaches. Most of us will probably stay into the mid 30s. So, but that encompasses all of our area from Pensacola over into Tallahassee. Look at all that snowfall up across the Great Lakes. They're continuing to get pounded up there with a whole bunch of snowfall. Temperatures this morning, we started off cold, a light freeze for most inland locations. Temperatures along the coastline mainly into the mid 30s, although we did see a light freeze towards Destin and Pensacola, a little bit farther back towards the west. Since midnight, we saw temperatures today climb up 40s and 50s. So again, yes, it was a very chilly day today across our area. And right now we're looking at temperatures dropping down to the 40s. We're into the low 40s inland, mid 40s down along the coastline. With more on the cold weather for tonight, we go to meteorologist Dan Nyman.
Yeah, there we go. We can get things worked up here. My keyboard stopped working tonight, Chris. That's a bizarre one.
Oh, no.
So
well, if I need to
keep
no
control.
If I need to keep going, I can.
No, we could persevere. Okay. There's always another way to make something work with technology. And like Chris was talking about, you might have to make it work this evening if you have any outdoor plans. You're going to be really digging deep into the closet to find some cool weather attire for tomorrow morning as well. But obviously, the positive in all of this, and I know there is probably 20% or so of our followers that were looking forward to the cooler temperatures, is that this cold weather won't be sticking around for long. And Chris, maybe you could hit the advanced button for my graphics here. I didn't think about that one. So you could just follow my lead as we look at temperatures dropping down even compared to last night, which of course we were talking about cooler temperatures. We're down another 6, 7, 8 degrees, even 13 degrees in Apalachicola, Tallahassee sort of areas. So temperatures continuing to cool down tonight, and that is going to help us advance towards the cooler temperatures a little earlier through the overnight hours. Winds on the flip side, still light in nature. We're looking at that 5 to 7 mile per hour range, however, out of the north once again. So we're still doing some work as far as driving in more and more cold air for this evening. Drier air, though, continuing to move in with that as well. And then as you look through the overnight hours tonight, we'll kind of continue with that same general sort of theme. A little breezier towards the coast, lighter winds inland. Everybody, though, the wind not really making a story other than maybe knocking temperatures down as far as the feels like temperature, perhaps another 2 or 3 degrees compared to what you might read on the thermometer for tomorrow morning. Notice by tomorrow, though, through the midday afternoon hours, you're already seeing a little bit of wind shift there. It's not as persistent out of the north. So feels like temperatures tonight. There's 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. It's 20s perhaps everywhere in the Panhandle, except maybe the immediate beaches right around 30 degrees. So while the actual temperature is obviously cooler, the wind effect going to add that 3 or 4 degree decrease in terms of the feel outside. Ultimately, for most of us, if you can find a way to stay in the house a little longer tomorrow morning, you can at least avoid the worst of the cool temperatures. Futurecast showing not a whole lot of cloud coverage out there. Compared to today, you did see a little bit more of that high-level stuff, at least in my neck of the woods, Chris, towards Springfield. We definitely had some of that cloud coverage lingering around. It was hard to get rid of until the afternoon hours. Looking a little better in that department for tomorrow on the Barron model, looking at that 24-hour Futurecast. Your day planner, therefore, for this evening, we're well inside of the 30s already for most of the area as you get towards 7, 8 o'clock. And by midnight tonight, some of us could be talking about already dropping below freezing. For my inland friends, I kind of think generally about maybe that Highway 20 up towards I-10 area. You might want to start thinking about dripping the faucets, because that duration of cold is a lot more noticeable this evening compared to last night. There you'll see the forecast temperatures with that color table as well, pointing out the deep purples here, areas where temperatures would be cool enough for a hard freeze. You've got lows down to 25 in Bluntstown, 28 degrees up towards Crestview, the tri-state area, right around that 26, 27, 28 degree range as well. Those are the places where I think it's not a bad idea to take those extra precautions. Wrapping pipes is certainly going to be helpful. Just dripping a faucet can even save you from those expensive repairs. I had a plumbing repair of my own today, not related to the cold, that ran me about $200 I wasn't expecting. So those are things you want to stick away from if you can. And these are the ways to avoid having to deal with that. And Chris talked about it last night too, even opening things like the kitchen cabinets, at least if they're on the exterior part of your home, could be helpful. And unless you're me, you probably want to turn the heat on for tonight. I'm going to try to tough it out, Chris. I think I'll be able to survive one more night without dealing with the cold. At least I can throw on another layer here and survive that for this evening.
Yeah, and I think it's important to note, like if you're at the beaches, you're not going to have to worry about taking those precautions tonight. If you freeze, it's 32 degrees, not a long duration. It's the inland areas, and in particular, Blountstown up through Mariana, the Chipola River Valley there, that temperatures could get a little bit colder, getting down into like the 25, 26 range. In that case, it would be close enough that I think I would go ahead and take those precautions just in case, so you don't get a surprise bill from the plumber.
Extra 10 minutes tonight can save you hundreds of dollars tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and once we get through tonight, the coldest of the weather is going to be behind us. And Kim says it's Long John's mode activated.
And Tracy wants snow. Unfortunately, we're not getting it this time around.
No.
I would love to see it too, but I don't know how many. I don't know how to explain, Chris, how much last year was the perfect storm. Yeah. No pun intended.
Yeah, and the other thing is that the chances that you get the old state record is about what we got. So the chances that you would break that record are slim to none. But we can always keep hope alive, and we'll.
I'm full of hope, so let's keep crossing our fingers.
Exactly. Hey, Christmas lights continues over into Panama City. I forgot to change the caption on this one. This is downtown at the Center for the Arts. This is David Price set up this light display, so I can just put my arm right there and block it so you can't see it. But there's a really cool one at North Shore Drive that also, I think that's the one that has the Santa that talks to you. It's pretty cool stuff. But David's downtown is, really, really fancy as well. We honor first responders, the military. There's a whole shebang, and I think was a fantastic display. I took the kids and saw that on, I think it was Saturday. Meanwhile, Christmas lights continuing. So if you are a straggler and want to submit some pictures, we'll put it on the Google map with all the latest light displays. You can submit them right there on the website. So just keep us posted there. Christmas lights brought to you by Coconut Creek Family Fun Park and Danny Riles Real Estate. We appreciate them. And speaking of Danny Riles, we'll be talking about the pine cone drop forecast. And the other thing, Dan, that I noticed is the temperatures tomorrow night. I think we'll see a really wide range in temperatures, and it was because of what you talked about, that wind shift. That's going to bring an onshore wind to the beaches that will give us much milder temperatures than, say, in Blountstown, and we'll talk about that here in just a few minutes.
Your piece of land demands the very best equipment. Kubota equipment. The #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S. with professional-grade mowers, versatile sidekick utility vehicles, and compact tractors that get it done right. All backed by unmatched dealer support. Talk to your dealer today to schedule a demo.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire, and how to control the flames. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
Toyotathon is on at Panama City Toyota,
where you can get 1.99% APR on a new Camry and get $500 in holiday cash. Get 3.49% APR on a new Corolla and get $500 in holiday cash. Get 1.99% on a new Tacoma, plus $1,000 in holiday cash. And 1.99% on a new Tundra, plus you'll get $1,000 in holiday cash.
Shake up your holidays at Toyotathon.
Everyone has a ritual, that small thing that keeps us focused.
A habit we never skip to clear our minds and elevate our performance.
But what do you do to keep your head in the game, to drown out that self-doubt and support your mental health? Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mind and your mental health.
Discover the resources that you need to keep your mind focused and your mental health a priority.
Now, from your trusted team of meteorologists at Panhandle Weather, this is your evening forecast update.
Hey, and good evening. Meteorologist Chris Smith here, just updating you again on the wildfire up in Washington County. It's 100% contained. It did get up to 50 acres, but it is 100% contained. This evening, we are watching a wildfire also up in Holmes County that's 45 acres on Monroe Paul Road that we'll be watching as well. That one doesn't have any containment right now. We'll see if we can't get some more information on that for you. Dan, are you alive over there, or are you? Oh, there you go.
I'm limping over here, but we're making it work. Everything that could go wrong has gone wrong.
Yeah, let's see. How cold is it going to be in East Point? Well, East Point, you'll have the impact of the water there, so you'll probably see, the wind will be blowing at least offshore, but you'll probably get down to about 34, 33 degrees tonight, I think would be a fair estimate.
Yeah, I was just looking at that in the break amongst all the things falling apart, and probably just frost is a good bet for East Point. Some other parts of the Panhandle, I see Greenwood, Sharon visiting from there. A little colder, and then a question about the downtown lights. We will have to dig on that and maybe do a Chris Smith's Lights wrap up on Facebook later tonight. But just
I think
a look at when some stuff's getting taken down.
Panama City, the downtown Panama City Christmas lights, I want to say go through New Year's Day, or is it just New Year's Eve? But I think you'll have a chance. I'll have to do some digging for sure, because I'm guesstimating here on the downtown light display. So I'll figure that out. Meanwhile, as we look at some of the photos across our area, look at this one. This is from Marty D over near Pier Park there this afternoon. Notice at this point, the skies have cleared out. Now, around midday today, this is David Wesley, and he snapped this picture from his remote camera, and you can definitely see the cloudy skies there. But then by this evening, those clouds have moved out, and I actually put a post out on social media earlier today where you could see kind of like the back edge of the clouds, and then it was just going to be sunshine from here on out, and that's what Charlie Wooten's saying. It's going to be a cold night up there in Calhoun County. As temperatures will definitely be dropping down sub 30 degrees tonight. I saw this here. This is getting ready for the New Year's Eve festivities over at Baytown Wharf tomorrow night. They're setting up the stage and getting everything all together for that. So pretty cool look there. It's cold though. Those workers needing to bundle up. You can see some folks walking into frame here with their hands in their pockets for sure, because it is cold, 39 degrees. 46 over on the water in Panama City. Dew point of 27, north-northwest wind at 9 miles per hour. And then over into St. Andrews there, looking across the bay, north-northwest wind at 9. It's zoomed in, so that wind kind of has a little bit more of an impact there right now, although the wind is just at 9 miles per hour. But you can see there, it was still blowing pretty briskly there. Meanwhile, as we look over into Panama City Beach, again, looking out over towards the Gulf tonight, things are all quiet. Your forecast headlines for tonight: it will be the coldest night of this cold spell. Not the coldest night of the year. We'll see 25 to 28 degrees inland, and we'll see 32 to 35 degrees down along the coastline. We'll see some slow warming New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. It will be warmer tomorrow, and the winds will be lighter, and we'll see more sun. And then New Year's Day, we'll see the sunshine continue, and it will be even warmer. We should get close to average by New Year's Day. Late week, we get close to 70, and we could see some showers, maybe a storm on Saturday. So for the rest of this evening, we'll drop below freezing. Again, most of us will drop down into the 20s tonight. Only the beaches near the water will you stay probably a little bit above freezing. Notice the winds, again, not as much of a story here. They're dying down. So even though they're at 5 to 10 miles an hour, that's enough to give us wind chill values that could be into the low to mid 20s. As you wake up early tomorrow morning. And you see that with our feels like temperatures expected tonight to drop down into the 20s. You go low 20s inland, and then we're right around the upper 20s to near 30 along the immediate coastline, and that is tomorrow morning. As far as the feels like temperatures at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning will be into the 30s, and then we'll warm up pretty quickly. Low temperatures tomorrow morning, again, mid-20s through the Chipola River Valley, upper 20s, mid to upper 20s along the I-10 corridor. And then there you see 36, 36, 34 right along the immediate coastline. Maybe Pensacola, but again, that's a little bit off the water there, 31 as far as the airport in Pensacola. And Apalachicola, similar story there. Their sensor is over at the airport, which is a little bit off the water. That's why you see that 30. I think downtown Appalach, East Point will probably stay at about 33, 34 degrees. So high temperatures for your Wednesday. There's the warm-up beginning. We get up into at least the middle 50s. This is what Dan was talking about. I want you guys to see this. Winds are out of the northwest, okay? But then as we head through tonight into Wednesday, winds are out of the north. And then notice tomorrow afternoon, look at this, winds are going to change out of the west. And that's going to be critical because that's going to lead to milder temperatures right along the immediate coastline as we head into New Year's Eve. Inland areas up here, Mariana, Bonifay, Chipley, Bluntstown, Clarksville, Weewap will probably be quite a bit colder. So we'll probably see a temperature range that could be as much as like 15 degrees difference between here and here as we head into your New Year's Eve night. And then there you see, this is at 11 o'clock at night. There you see that westerly wind continuing along the water. So low temperatures tomorrow night, still near freezing, Mariana, Bluntstown. But then notice Tyndall, 47, 48, Inlet Beach, 44 degrees in Destin. Quite a difference here compared to inland areas towards Jackson County and on over into Calhoun County. As you get into New Year's Day, there you see temperatures should be climbing up into at least the middle 60s across our area. For more on some of the area events and a look at what we can expect this weekend, let's go to meteorologist Dan Nyman.
Yeah, of course, plenty going on with New Year's Eve right around the corner, and a lot of folks will be out and about bundled up for that. We have ball drops, polar plunges, pine cone dropping as well. We've been having fun talking about that event up in Bluntstown for the past several days. Your generic New Year's Eve forecast, a little better than it is out there this evening. Notice you hold on to the 50s a little while longer, and just as the ball drops and you hit midnight there, it's just starting to dip into the 40s on average across the area. Obviously, the further north you go, the earlier you get there, the beaches might hold on for a little while longer. So here's a good example. The Bluntstown pine cone drop. Temperatures cool, clear skies out there. You won't have much of a wind to deal with. However, it's Florida cold. You'll want the biggest coat you've got in the closet, spending that extended period of time outside. That pine cone drop, the first annual, going from 10 till midnight. And then you look a little closer towards the coast here. This is the beach, or the day planner forecast here. So you start off the day in the 50s, briefly touching 60. There's your improvement. And then as you get into the evening hours, it'll be a little slower to cool at first. Let's get into the polar plunge on New Year's Day. This is a Cape Sandblast polar plunge starting off at 9:45 a.m. local time. And you'll notice air temperature actually cooler than the water temperature. So both cool, but the water might actually be a bit of relief from the actual air temperatures. And now into South Walton, the polar plunge at Walleen Beach access there. Temperatures of about 62 degrees when that one gets underway. Again, water temperatures right around 60 degrees. I also think, Chris, we have the Salty Goat polar plunge on the 1st or the 2nd. So a Panama City Beach version of it will be happening over the course of the next couple of days as well. Changes coming in the forecast. We've been all about the cold here for the start of this week. This weekend, attention turns towards briefly warmer, more mild weather, an increase in humidity, and of course, you'll notice that one day where rain chances are picking up as well. The pattern going to go through a couple of changes here, this upper level pattern, as we work through that period. Obviously, right now, you look at the jet stream, it's digging south. That trough has set up a good access of cooler temperatures across the east coast. The storm track and the jet stream itself, a little further towards the north, you see a lot of low pressure systems kind of spinning up towards the Great Lakes. Lake effect snow going to be a talking point. And of course, cool, dry air across parts of the northeast sticking around as well. Things change, though. Big ridge of high pressure back towards the west, and that briefly flattens out. We get into a zonal flow here for the second half of the week, and temperatures will respond as a result of that. We won't be nearly as cool. There is a little dip there, a little wave of energy as you get a little shortwave trough digging through that upper level flow. That's right into Friday night, heading into Saturday. That'll nudge through a weak little front. We'll get some lift, maybe a low developing, and that'll help to spur up a brief period where dynamics and instability could meet, and you have a chance, at least, of some rainfall. However, Chris and I have been kind of talking about this, not at all looking like a day's full of rainfall for Saturday, just something you have to watch for just a couple of hours. The Futurecast model skies continuing all the way through the end of this year and into next year. We could say that this week. And there you'll see a weak little front driving through for Thursday, the 1st of 2026. Clouds starting to pick up in the upper levels of the atmosphere heading into Friday. And there you see by Friday afternoon, just a couple of clipper showers up through the Wiregrass region, and things generally just looking unsettled here as we get through Friday into Saturday. At no point are you seeing that mass coverage of rainfall through this period here. A lot of dotted little isolated cells washing through the morning hours on Saturday. You see a little flourish there in the activity down towards the Forgotten Coast. Obviously a small shift, though, in where this all sets up. Could maybe move that into a larger portion of our area, but obviously as the sun rises for Saturday, we would get into slightly warmer temperatures and the ability to pick up on maybe a thunderstorm or at least some more accumulating rainfall. We sure could use it. Rainfall totals not expected to be all that high from this system, and it's in and it's out quite quickly with the clouds leaving too. So you'll get that 1/10 to maybe a 1/4 of an inch of rainfall if you're lucky, slightly higher amounts in thunderstorms, and we'll forget about the rainfall. It's in and it's out, and by Sunday, you're looking at just a couple of lingering clouds, temperatures still warm, but ultimately a decent weekend still. It's not going to be one that is completely impacted by the weather, just one where you'll have to watch brief periods of time where, once again, our model's kind of pointing towards that morning midday period on Saturday before we're very quickly working through that system, which starts to shoot up towards the northern east coast there, and we're back towards progressively more and more sunny skies. So your temperature trend, cool now, we forget about that soon. High temperatures right back into the upper 60s and lower 70s, right around where they should be for this time of year. And you'll see low temperatures too, actually getting much warmer than normal for Saturday. That's the brief increase in moisture before we settle back towards a little more seasonal cool for each morning starting Sunday and on into the early portions of the following week. 7-day forecast is one that looks all right. A lot of different things to keep an eye out for here. Obviously, the cool weather is the short term. The mid-range part of the forecast looking at Saturday, clouds, showers, possibly a thunderstorm towards the coast, but obviously not the most impressive system we've ever seen, especially for this transition into January. After that, looking pretty good. Mix of sun and clouds at the coast with temperatures into the upper 60s. And then, of course, when we talk about inland areas, you get away from those 60-degree Gulf water temperatures, and we'll see temperatures rising from the 60s, probably closer to high temperatures in the 70s. And we'll get that forecast pulled up here in just a second, but we'll sit at least at or just a little bit above average for temperatures, which is going to be a nice change of pace for those here that hated the cold weather. A little bit of everybody, I guess, is the best way to describe what we're seeing out there over the course of this 7-day forecast. You think that's fair, Chris?
I do. Sorry about that. I was the polar plunge for the salty goat is on January the 10th, so you got to wait a week and change to get to that polar plunge. Cape Sandblass and South Walton there. I'm sure there's some other ones, but those are both on January 1st. Also, the downtown Christmas lights, I found that out. That goes through January 1st, so it doesn't go through this weekend. It does go through Friday. So at least if you were to go out and look at the Christmas lights on Friday night downtown, you'll be able to see those lights on Friday before they go dark.
It's a shame. I always hate when the lights go off, but you got to pick a day to just say, we're done with Christmas. It could be like Disney World and leave it up till February, I guess.
Okay, so Bill Porter, who has the display that he used me over in the Hidden Pines neighborhood, he said last year he had started dismantling it, unplugging stuff when we got the snow. And everyone was asking if he could plug it back in so they could see it with the snow and everything. But he said he was too far gone in the process of unplugging to replug stuff. So yeah, it's you got to pick a time and just live with it.
I could resonate with Bill there. Once you get the bins down in the garage, it's time for them to go. We're not putting those back.
Exactly. Again, the good news is Sunny Hills Fire, that's what it's called from the Florida Forest Service in Washington County. That's 100% contained this evening. Cold weather tonight, 20s inland. Probably low to mid 30s at the coast. Only inland areas need to worry about those pipe precautions.
Yep, it'll be a quickly forgotten cool blast, I think,
yes.
Chris. This one certainly hasn't been too unusual, just typical Florida winter here, and we're going to swing back in the other direction real quick. Some much-needed rainfall in the forecast, too. Cross your fingers that we can trend towards more and not less rainfall, because right now it's not a drought buster by any means, but we'll take what we can get, as most of the Southeast feels the same way.
Exactly. But y'all have a wonderful night, and I think, what did we say? That tomorrow night and Thursday we'll take a break and we'll be back Friday?
Yeah, I think that's the right call here. It's going to be so quiet on both of those days. We'll probably sit down Friday with an extended show and talk about what the rain looks like, and we can jump in as needed, of course, on the first too, if there's any significant changes.
But whether we have a live show or not, the content continues 24/7 at Panhandle Weather.
Thank you, guys, and yes, Happy New Year.
Music looking good.